Hi guys, welcome to Ratan IT. This is Binesha. In this tutorial, I am going to teach you everything about HTML. And using HTML, you can create your own website. So this is so easy. I think you will enjoy it. And we will start HTML introduction. Before going to HTML introduction, first of all, we need to know that what is HTML. What is HTML? HTML means it is a standard markup language for creating web pages. It is a standard markup language for creating web pages. So HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. And this HTML, we are having so many elements in this HTML. So how these elements are going to work with and how we are using the tags, everything we are going to discuss in this HTML tutorial. So first of all, HTML is a standard markup language. And second thing what I am going to tell is HTML describes the content of a web page. Content of a web page. If I do having a web page, the content will be decided by the HTML. Only the content we can discuss with the HTML. And HTML elements are the building blocks of web page. For web page, HTML elements are the building blocks of a web page. And how these elements are going to useful, we will discuss in the next tutorial. But before that, these elements also contains the tags, HTML tags. How these tags are and how come, all these things we will discuss later. And before this, we need to know the versions of HTML. So now we are going to see the versions of HTML. In which year which HTML version has been released, we are going to see now. See, this is the version and this is the year. The basic HTML version 1, the default is HTML, is released in 1991. The second version happened and it is released in HTML2 in 1995. Okay, and the third version we call it as HTML version 3.2. It is released in 1997. And the HTML4 version is released in 1991. And XHTML in 2000. And HTML5 is released in 2014. The basic we discuss what happens in up to HTML4 version. XHTML and HTML5, the changes come over from 4 to 5, we discuss in the later sessions. These are the version and the year when they had been released. In the basic HTML released in 1991, HTML2 version in 1995, HTML 3.2, that means the third version released in 1997 year, and HTML 4.0 is released in 1991. XHTML, we will also see the difference between what is HTML and XHTML in the later sessions, and that is released in 1991. XHTML is in 2000. And the final, the updated version now we are using is HTML5, and that is released in 2014. Okay, this is all about the versions of an HTML. I hope you understood well about this, and we are going to the next topic, that is the structure of a basic programming language. Structure of a basic HTML program or structure of a basic HTML page. How come? We are going to see now. Structure of a basic HTML page contains several tags, and the tags are, see, doc type HTML. This is one of my tag, and another tag is HTML, and I'm going to close this HTML. And in HTML I'm having my header portion that in head portion I'm also having another more tag, that is the title tag, and I can write my title here, and I need to close this title. And after header I'm having my body portion. Okay, this is my body portion and my body here. My web page will works here. Okay, this is the basic HTML page we are going to execute. Actually the first one is, if you observe, doc type HTML. What this tag actually indicates, that means that my document type is HTML. I'm indirectly telling to the compiler that my page is HTML and it is the document. In HTML5 it has been signified as a all caps. If you are not giving anything also, it will indirectly take that doc type. That means it acts as a default. Okay, but if you mention it, strictly you are following the rules and regulations of an HTML page. And coming to the next thing, HTML tag open and a tag close. This is the open tag and this is my closing tag. See, if you observe here, this is my opening tag and I am directly closing with angular brackets and nothing in else, directly my tag name, and I am closing this. And coming to the closing tag, my angular, I am closing in angular brackets, and it is also the tag name is followed by a forward slash. It is in a forward slash. So that is the difference between the opening tag and closing tag. And coming to the header portion, this is my header portion. This is my header portion and I am going to close this header portion here. Closing header portion. And I am closing my HTML here. The same thing see here, and I am closing title and I am also closing my body tag. In this header portion, whatever you write, that won't be displayed. Means what? It only stores the meta type data in header portion. Meta type data means what? It will, the title of a page, title of the document will displayed on the browser. I will see you later. And metadata means the metadata consists of, it might be the title attribute or language. I am specifying the metadata in the header portion. That won't be displayed in my web page. Only the content between my body will only be displayed on the web page. The body will be displayed. So now you understood the structure of an HTML page clearly, right? You need to know that this is the basic structure of an HTML page. Forward we will include many more tags, and how come all these things we will discuss later, but this is the basic structure what it contains. HTML need to close this open tag and close tag, and some of the tags that contains the header portion and body portion. In header portion I am also having title tag. Okay, this is the basic structure of an HTML page. Now I am going to execute a basic HTML program. Before executing this basic HTML program, first of all you need to know that what type of editor you need to use. Okay, what type of editor? If you are using Windows, use the Notepad, or if you are using Mac, use the TextEdit. These are the basic things you need to know to run a HTML page. Open Notepad. Okay, open Notepad. Write basic HTML program. Write basic HTML program. After writing it, save it as save it as file name .html, file name .html. Example, if I am having my program as sample.html, okay, and you saved it at if you saved in your own libraries, right, open that libraries and run it. That means double click. This is the procedure to follow if you are using the notepad. First open the notepad and write the basic HTML program and need to save it as .html file with the file name is as usual, whatever you want to keep and with .html, and then run it. Just double click and it will directly run on the browser. If your browser is default Chrome, it will run on Chrome. If your browser is the default Internet Explorer, it will run on all Windows. It will run in all Windows. It will run, not an issue. Coming to the Mac, the same as it is text follows. The only difference is here you are using the notepad, here you are using the text edit. Open text edit in Mac, write basic HTML program, write basic HTML program and save it as file name .html. That means example sample.html. The same procedure we need to follow here and run it. It will also run if your Mac is having Safari as a default one, it will run over there. If Chrome is there, it will run. If Internet Explorer, it will run. If Mozilla is there, it will run on Mozilla. Whatever the default Explorer is there, it will run over there. This is the basic thing you need to follow for the. Now we will see how I am going to run in my Windows operating system. I am going to execute basic HTML programs. Before going to the program execution, here I am going to discuss the basic things which are needed for the HTML. The basic things are, see here, HTML documents and HTML. The basic things are HTML documents and HTML headings, HTML paragraphs, and HTML links and HTML images. These are the basic things I want to discuss with you now. HTML documents, HTML headings, HTML paragraphs, HTML links and HTML images. That means that I am inserting some content into the web page. My content might be the heading, it might be the paragraph, it might be the link, it might be the image. And how I am going to inserting my own thing into my web page. Either it might be the heading or paragraph or link or image. Okay. First of all, for these four things, the basic thing I need to know that HTML document. The document I already discussed with you in structure of an HTML elements. See, HTML documents follow one structure of HTML elements, right? So I am having a basic HTML tags. I am going to discuss the tags in this documentation. See, it might contains my document type. Document type is my HTML. Okay, document type is HTML and it needs to contain one HTML tag, and I need to close this HTML tag. Right, we already discussed this, and it also contains the head portion and it contains the body portion. Okay, it contains the body portion. First clear with these things, then you need understand all the things. Okay, this is telling that my HTML is the document type, and here head HTML head and this body, these three are telling me that these are the open tags, and I'm closing this, right, this one, and I'm closing HTML also. These three are indicating me that these are closed tags. Why? Because I already said you that my closing tags will follow the tag name with a forward slash. See, these three are my head is following with a forward slash, body and HTML, and I'm closing my HTML here, I'm closing my head here, and I'm closing my body here. So this is the open tag, this is the open tag, this is the open tag, and whatever I'm closing, all these are the closed tags. First you need to clear with this, then you understood the basic thing. Whatever I'm writing here, that is my web page content. Whatever you write in a body session, that is displayed on the web, and if whatever you want to keep as a metadata, that you need to keep in header portion. Metadata might contains my scripting, either language, either CSS style, other something else. It all contains the metadata. My body session will completely display whatever you written in between the body tags. This is the complete documentation. You clearly now understood what is a HTML document, right? Come over. And the next topic is HTML headings. Okay, we are now going to see HTML headings. HTML documentation, right? Now we are going to the another topic, that is HTML headings. Now see how HTML headings are working over here. See, this is my document type HTML. Whatever I written in body, that will be displayed, right? See, coming to the HTML headings, the web developers had been created from H1 to H6. From H1 to H6, they developed some tag elements. Okay, these HTML elements will work with open tag and closed tag. H1 need to close with H1 closed tag, and I can have my heading over here, my first heading. This is my first heading. Like that, my sixth heading. Like that, we are having 6 different tags that follows. This is H1 and I am having H2, my second heading, and I am closing my H2. And like this follows H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Like that 6 headings we do having. What is the use of these headings? See, for every web page, there is a need of heading, right? So internally, whatever the content I am writing over here, that contains internally it is in bold and important, and it kept to be aligned center. See here, this is my heading, this is my open tag, this is my closed tag. Whatever the content I am writing, this is the content. My first heading is the content. It is displayed automatically in bold section. Okay, that is the main advantage of using heading. And another important thing, if you want to keep any text in bold, don't use heading tag for that. We do having a different type of headings for that, text formatting elements. We will discuss the text formatting elements in the another next tutorial. But in this, see, if you want to keep any heading for any paragraph or anything else, that is from H1 to H6, 6 available headings are there over here. Okay, the first one is H1 and second one is H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Now you can get one doubt. Only H1 is enough? why should we need to get more h1 to h6? Why we need again 5 more, right? Exactly. See now, h1 heading is the main heading. Okay, this will displace like my first heading in bold characters. When coming to the second one, the size of this is somewhat slower than the, sorry, this is second, right? Second heading. My size of is decreasing from h1 to h6 heading. At the same time, your requirement might not be always the greater thing, right? You might need a heading, it is in short, in size, less size also. So these from maximum size to minimum size, from h1 to h6, they will vary. Getting my point? The h1 to h6, they will vary. So that is the main thing we need to discuss regarding the heading.
Now we are going to see how we are running our HTML programs. So better to do in Edit Plus. Okay. So how to download an Edit Plus first we are going to see. Go to Google and just type Edit Plus download. You will get the Edit Plus text editor for Windows with FTP. So just click over there and directly download Edit Plus text editor. Okay. So download 64-bit. And after it download, install that. So open your Edit Plus. Now open file, new, and here you write in HTML page. Okay. Open Edit Plus and now write an basic HTML page. First I need a doc type HTML. What it is showing that my document type is HTML, right? And second thing, my HTML open and close tag. Open and close tag. In this tag, it contains the header portion and body portion, and it contains the body portion. See, this header portion contains only metadata. Body portion will display the content. Okay, whatever header portion contains the metadata like title, title might be basic HTML, okay, and body portion will display on the web page. Okay, so I'm writing body here. So this is the basic structure of an HTML program. Here, this is the open tag and this is the close tag for HTML. And here the header portion and this is the opening header portion. This is opening body and this is the closing body. I can also say that an HTML element inside another HTML element. See, in this HTML element I am having header element, body element, two elements inside of the HTML element, right? So this is the basic program. Now just go to file and save your file at desktop with some basic program dot html. Save your program as html. Now go to the desktop where you created. Okay. Now double click over there. You will find several type of files. One is Firefox, Google Chrome. The file you need to open in Firefox or Google Chrome or Internet or Opera. If I want to open in Google, double click. See here body here. Whatever you write in body, that will be displayed. Let us suppose if I am writing here hello everyone, hello everyone, and my heading and I am also having one heading, that is welcome to Ratan IT. So this is my basic program. So welcome to Ratan IT. Now control S for save and go to the Google Chrome and just refresh the page. See here hello everyone is my content display and my heading is welcome to Ratan IT. This is the basic program. This is the basic program we need to develop like this.